everywhere across this great Commonwealth. There's something special going on, and you can feel it everywhere. God, how cool is this place? Wow. All right, folks, here we are. It is Sunday. Well, here we go. We got one, God bless you all. Happy Sunday. How about that? Here we go. Hey, folks, we got basically a 9-day sprint. A 9-day sprint to close this out. And right now, we got Terry McAuliffe on the run. Well, I got to tell you, what has been so much fun is to travel around this great Commonwealth, to go from Lee County to Loudoun County, to go from Chesterfield to Colonial Heights, to go from Chesapeake all the way back up to Fairfax, down to Emporia, to Old Town Alexandria. You know what I see everywhere? Red signs everywhere we go. Red signs everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I had this great text yesterday from some friends who were driving from Lynchburg back home into Arlington, and they sent me a text, and it said, "Glenn, I just wanted to give you the count. Youngkin, 47 times. Set 47 signs. McAuliffe, 6. Come on, that's great fun. That is great fun. Well, folks, here we are today, right now, 9 days out. 9 days out from making a statement, that is absolutely going to send a shockwave across America, a statement that is going to stand up not just for folks in Virginia, but for folks around this nation, a statement to say, no, not here, no more progressive, no more left liberal policies, no more. I mean, over the course of the last 8 years, led by Terry McAuliffe, we've actually watched this left liberal progressive agenda try to turn Virginia into California East, and Virginians are saying, no, not here, we're not going to have it. I mean, what's amazing? But I tell you, folks, America needs us. They do. I mean, right now, there's only 2 statewide races, 2, here in New Jersey. And all eyes are on Virginia. Why are all eyes on Virginia? Because as goes Virginia, so goes America. We know that. And this is what's happening. I mean, I have parents all over the nation sending me texts and emails and calling me saying, Glenn, stand up for our kids too, please. Stand up for our kids too, because we know. We've seen it in his heart. Terry McAuliffe believes there's no role for parents in their children's education. That's what we've seen. And by the way, when parents stood up over the course of the last 3 weeks and said, you're wrong, Terry McAuliffe, what does he do? He calls his friend Joe Biden and has Joe Biden send the FBI in to try to silence parents. So let me be clear. Jason Miyares is our next Attorney General. Winsome Sears is our next Lieutenant Governor. And when I have the great privilege of being your next governor, the 3 of us are going to stand up, and we are not going to allow the FBI to come in here and push parents around. We're not going to let it happen. Tell you what we are going to do is we are going to allow the FBI to come in and investigate school boards that do not keep our kids safe. I mean, friends, last week we had a small gathering in Fairfax County, small one. I thought it was going to be about like this. By the way, this is huge. But there was another 650 people out in the parking lot when we got together in Fairfax County. And what's happened, of course, is we've watched Loudoun County be the epicenter. Come on, be ground zero of parents just like all of you standing up for your children, standing up and saying, get our schools open, standing up saying, teach our children how to think. Stop teaching them what to think. Standing up for your kids saying, we deserve to know what's in the curriculum, and if we don't like it, we should be able to get rid of it. Parents standing up saying, we absolutely have a right, a fundamental right in the Commonwealth of Virginia to be fully engaged in our kids' education. And guess what? I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, we have this moment right now. This moment where we, in fact, can come together. We have this defining moment in our Commonwealth's future. A moment to, in fact, fundamentally change the trajectory of our great Commonwealth of Virginia and everybody who lives here. Where in fact, we can liberate our families and our children and pursue a better life and actually allow everyone to pursue with everything they have a better life, prosperity, and not have it blocked or impeded by elected politicians, and all they want to do is further their own instance as opposed to yours. This is where we stand. We stand for a moment where all of a sudden the idea of fighting against a culture that suggests that we should accept mediocrity, that we should embrace low standards, that we should shelve our hope. We get to stand up as Virginians and say, no, no. We get to stand up for our children, for our grandchildren, for our nieces, for our nephews. We get to stand up and say there is a better day in front of all of us, but in order for us to do that, we have to get moving right now. And what we have to do is make that moment right now together. It's not about me. It's not about Jason. It's not about these great folks who are going to serve you as your next delegates when we have a majority in the House of Delegates. It's about all of you. That's what it's about. It's about a Virginia that soars, a Virginia that doesn't ever settle. It's about a Virginia where we all get to realize and achieve our hopes and our dreams. It's about a Virginia where we, in fact, get to live the Virginia promise. A promise that we're going to have the best schools, the safest neighborhoods, we're going to have the best jobs, we're going to have a low cost of living, and oh, by the way, a promise where our children can dream the most radical dreams they ever have dreamed to become whatever they want to become, and they get to go get it. That's the Virginia we'll build together. Now, friends, I get asked all the time. Well, I also get asked all the time, how you sleeping, Glenn? And I'll tell you, I'm sleeping like a baby. I wake up every 20 minutes screaming. Why? Why? Because we collectively know that we must win this. We collectively know that Virginia's future hangs in the balance. We collectively know that the future that we can build together is so different than the one that Terry McAuliffe wants government to impose upon us. We know that we will break some glass. By the way, speaking of breaking glass, you know, the establishment is not ready for me. They just aren't. I mean, I'm an outsider. I get to walk into Richmond, hopefully, with all of your support, and we get to change things. I don't know if you saw it, but Dominion Power doesn't want me to show up. You know why? Because they absolutely overcharged Virginians, $1 billion plus. And what did they do? They turn around and they put $200,000 in a shady PAC that they then put to work to campaign against me. And then when they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, They got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. What did they do? They immediately apologized. Oh, we're sorry. How many of you have had a kid, it happens to little kids when they do something wrong and everybody catches them and the first thing they do is say, ooh, sorry, not me. I mean, folks, we're going to get in and make change. That's why we're going. That's why we got everybody's attention. That's why Virginians all of a sudden are standing up all over and saying no to Terry McAuliffe and yes to Glen Youngkin. It is so much fun. Now, I'll tell you, I also get asked a lot, what are you going to do on that first day, Glenn? What's it going to be like? And so let me just tell you what it's going to be like. On January 15th, Jason and Winsome and I we're going to have the most unbelievable sense of privilege, of honor to go work for all of you. A moment where we feel that we have to stop and just recognize that the job that I am seeking is a job that was held by Patrick Henry, by Thomas Jefferson. And here I am, a kid that was washing dishes and taking out trash when I was 15 years old. But I dream big dreams. And here I am. I have a moment to step into that portico, Mr. Jefferson's portico in Richmond. And I put my hand on a Holy Bible. And I will swear to God Almighty to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And then Jason and Winsome and I will walk down those stairs. We'll be joined by Paige and by Terrence, not Terry, but Terrence. And Suzanne will join me, and we'll join everybody who wants to join us. And we're going to stop for a moment of our own prayer. A moment where we get to thank the Lord for his provision, for his protection, for his guidance, for his support, for putting people around us who are amazing like all of you. And then we'll pray for his strength and discernment to understand his will and the path that we should walk and the words we should use. And then we'll say amen. And then we're going to work because it's day one. There's no time to get to waste because we got a lot of work to do. On day one, we will cut the cost of living in Virginia because it's too expensive to live here, and we're going to cut everybody's taxes. Everybody. We're going to declare the largest tax refund in the history of Virginia. We're going to eliminate the grocery tax. We're going to suspend the latest gas tax increase for a year. We're going to double everybody's standard deduction. And folks, we are going to work for our veterans, and we're going to build up to $40,000 of our veterans' income that we will no longer tax. Let me make one comment about our veterans, because I want to thank all of you that have served our country, that have volunteered to protect our freedom, and have chosen to live here in Virginia. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lifters. Friends, on day one, we're going to go to work and reestablish expectations of excellence in our schools. You know, when Terry McAuliffe was governor, 88 schools failed to reach their accreditation. 88. He didn't like that. And rather than do the hard work and fix them, he just lowered the standards so not one would fail. Today, Virginia ranks 50th in the nation, 50th, when it comes to the standards for our kids to progress in reading and math. And it's true. And guess what? The test scores show it. The test scores that most recently came back this past spring, they showed that our children are suffering as a result. By the way, George Bush called it the soft bigotry of low expectations. We're not going to be a commonwealth of low expectations. We're going to be a commonwealth of high expectations. I mean, folks, 55% of white children in Virginia cannot pass an 8th grade math equivalency test. 70% of Latino children, over 80% of black children cannot pass an 8th grade math equivalency test. The gap is absolutely unacceptable. The order of magnitude of these numbers is shocking. It is shocking. So on day one, first,